US, parts of Northern Europe, the Dutch are doing some really interesting things. I think certainly if you look at a lot of the sales forces in Northern Europe now, the frontline sales teams, as we would know them, they're gone. And those headcount have been reinvested into the programmatic sales teams. So I think we'll see a degree of that coming in. Kerry's point is exactly right. The talent in Australia, client agency, sales side is world renowned and respected.
I would say unless you're first, you're behind. So my experience of this is, yes, we are behind. I'm pretty relaxed about being behind. The Americans are beating us, it's fine. Whether it's 12 months or 18 months, it's just not particularly relevant. The piece that I think we miss is use of data. So I know that word data is a little bit tedious, but we don't have a big bank of third-party data, which as agencies or sellers or whatever, that we utilise much. We primarily rely on our own first-party data, some publisher stuff. But that's the bit where I think we miss the trick. So we transact very well programmatically, just buying and selling through bids. It's probably a 7 or an 8 out of 10. But the really smart work, I haven't seen a lot of that yet.
And I don't necessarily buy into the data shortage challenge. I think there's more than ample data and actionable data in this country. The issue is trust. Trust from the client side around who they behold that to, how that's used. That is somewhere where we are behind. In terms of overall revenue, going through just the RTB part of programmatic, right? So if all automated media is programmatic and then there's this data-enabled piece or this RTB piece, then we're really lagging there. And actionable data and trust around data, and also trust around business models and transparency is a big one, right? And it's easy to jump on either one of the arguments for and against transparency, but I don't think it's that easy. Sure, there should be more transparency in terms of what happens through the ecosystem of buying automated media. And those that aren't bringing value to that equation are and will be flushed out. On the other side of it is, we go out and buy a coffee right now out there and we spend $4.50 or whatever, although AdNews are probably kindly sponsoring that. If we were paying for that coffee, we're not going to ask that vendor before we part with our cash, to express their net margin before we hand it over, right? People have to make money, and so there's two sides to that, and I think it's very easy to get on pedestals around that stuff, but it's not easy to solve. But transparency, actionable data, and openness, to innovation are the three things that I've encountered in the last 3 months.
This is an ecosystem where everybody has to get to a certain point and to get to a certain level of sophistication together before it really flies. And I think that's some of what we were hearing on the last panel, that different organisations and different parts of the value chain are at various stages of their maturity in being able to deal with all of this. But each of those in their own right is changing pretty quickly, actually, given the circumstances.